I was literally just crying about this maybe not even an hour ago because it's just been...
As far as pulling them back in the store, because they told me, like, once they leave the store, it's over with. But I wanted that action, so I pulled him in the store by his collar.
Changes, so you're gonna have to give us your discount card and your vest and your badge, and you're gonna have to leave, or you're fired.
Where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, so I just got off a Teams call at work. I got a meeting invite this morning called Team Update. There was about 15 people on the call. Our VP just terminated our position.
What you're about to hear isn't paraphrased. Most of it is the actual audio. A phone call, an email, a company-wide memo. The moment these people found out, in their own words. This next one became the most watched layoff in internet history because for once, someone hit record before they hung up.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then it was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are. I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far. Also, every single one-on-one I've had with my manager, every conversation I've had with him, he has been giving me nothing but I am doing a great job, I have had great activity, I have really great meetings, I'm picking up the products very quickly, and things have been going really, really well. I make really great relationships with my clients. So I disagree that my performance hasn't been, I haven't met performance expectations when I certainly have, just because I haven't closed anything officially.
I hear you.
Also, why are you doing this and not my manager? We've never met, so this seems a little odd that my manager has no idea that this has been happening and the director has no idea that this has been happening. So I'm just definitely confused, and I would love an explanation that makes sense.
100%. Real quick, let me carve out the 2 threads. The latter of why I'm on this conversation, I'll put that one to the second half, and Rosie might be better to explain the process of who is giving this information in the prior piece, which is your feedback and notes about your performance. So let me add a little color context to that. So just for clarification, you are not being singled out in this. Your peers are also being collectively assessed on performance. This is a collective calibration for Cloudflare. So I just want to clarify that piece. I won't be able to add any kind of specifics on numbers or...
Wait, can you explain for me why Brittany Peach is getting let go?
I won't be able to go into specifics for numbers.
Wait, why though? I just started, I've been working extremely hard. Just because I haven't closed anything that has nothing to do with my performance on a 3-month ramp with just 1 month with 2 major holidays in the middle, I don't think that has anything to do with why I should be let go, if that makes sense. So I really need an answer and an explanation as to why Brittany Peach is getting let go, not why Cloudflare decided to hire too many people and are now actually realizing that they can't afford this many people and they're letting that go. If that's the real answer, I would rather just you tell me that instead of making up some bullshit and telling me that right before I lose my job from someone that I've never met before, if you can respect that.
Yeah, I can totally respect that. And I don't think Dom or myself today is going to give you any clarity or answers that's going to meet the expectations that you're communicating to us, Brittany. So I can't speak to.
So am I getting let go for no reason? If you guys can't give me a reason?
I'm happy to follow up with you separately to give you the data that was calibrated. I'll need to speak with revenue leadership specifically to see if we can get that for you. But Dom and
Can
I
you
did
share
not
that
have
with me
that
now?
in our meeting. I cannot share that with you right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's understandable how you feel and your frustration. Cannot stress that enough.
I have been working extremely hard. I just knew that this meeting was coming after knowing what's been happening with my peers and how extremely frustrated and upset everyone is. I know you guys must not be able to understand that given in the positions that you are in, and it must be very easy for you to just have these little 10-minute, 15-minute meetings, tell someone that they're fired, completely wreck their whole life, and then that's it with no explanation. That's extremely traumatizing for people, if you can imagine that. And I don't think that this is, it's just very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. I've really given my whole energy and life over the last 4 months to this job. And to be let go for no reason is like a huge slap in the face from a company that I really wanted to believe in.
Cloudflare at least stayed on the call and tried to explain itself. Discord sent the news by email and let a countdown clock do the talking.
Today we are making the unfortunate and difficult decision to reduce the size of Discord's workforce by 17%. This means we are saying goodbye to 170 of our talented colleagues. By 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, everyone will receive an email. In your email, you will learn whether or not your employment has been impacted by this reduction in force.
I find out if I'm laid off in 20 minutes. Breakup text through email. Yeah, I got the email. Holy shit, dude. I am laid off. Fuck. Oh my god. Wow. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm fucking laid off. Holy shit, dude. You need to cancel your day. That's crazy. This is how I'm gonna go? 17% is a lot. Goodbye.
Discord at least gave people a countdown clock. This guy got hired at Walmart and fired the same day before his first shift was even over.
Buy this, or let us know what's your opinion on this.
I finally got a job, y'all, and lost that bitch on the same day. Walmart, talking about they can't hire me in for the store. We need security, though. I'm like, fuck it, I'll do security. I like that shit anyway. Boom, first day, some shit pop off. I'm sitting by the infinity desk where the motherfuckers be at. I'm scrolling on my phone, and they trying to chase somebody like, grab him, he's stealing. Mind you, I was on my phone, so I'm not paying attention. So when I run out the store, I tackle the wrong person. I even went as far as pulling them back in the store because they told me, like, once they leave the store, it's over with. But I wanted that action, so I pulled him in the store by his collar. Bring your bitch ass in here. They like, no, that's the wrong person. It's too late. It's the dude in the yellow. And running down a little parking lot, so I chase after him and shit. By the time I reached him, he hopped in his little hoopty cutlass and shit. He pulling out the parking spot. I start busting the car. Bang, 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 bang. He managed to escape, though. So by the time I get up to the front, the dude that I tackled, he trying to fight and shit. I showed him the burner and shit. Now he looking at my managers and shit. I'm like, dog, you wasn't looking at your managers when you was trying to fight me for doing my job? So my managers calmed me down and they come tell me the bad news. They was like, man, you wasn't even supposed to have a weapon. And then you tackled the wrong guy, man. He could potentially sue us. And then you putting our customers in danger. I'm sorry, man, this was a bad idea and shit. And I'm like, man, that's some bullshit, dog. So I ain't even gonna lie. I feel mistreated, man, and I feel like I didn't get a fair shake of the dice, man. But I'm gonna keep looking.
That one's almost funny until you remember he still needed the paycheck. For most people, the part that actually breaks them takes a few months to show up on camera. By then, everyone else has already stopped asking if you're okay.
I was literally just crying about this maybe not even an hour ago because it's just been rough. It's been really, really, I can't say like overall it's been rough, but the last 2 weeks, like my mental health. Whew. So I was laid off in November of last year, so it's been roughly like 5 months. And I've been fine up until, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your Destiny. Just a quick check-in about the unemployment laid off situation.
5 months later, she's still filling out applications every day. Not everyone processes it the same way. Some people cope by throwing themselves a party. There's no correct way to survive losing your income, just whatever gets you through the week.
Off in April, and I'm finally ready to talk about it. I was one of 16,000 people notified of this company-wide workforce reduction, and it really hurt because this is my first big girl corporate job. I was there for 4.5 years, and I put so much of myself into my work. I was notified in January, and I had until April before my official separation. In the beginning, I took the break because I was burnt out, but as my separation date got closer, I started panicking. I reached out to hiring managers, I sent emails. I probably could have done a little more, but I was low-key over it. Part of me knew that my time there was up. But what hit me the most was that I felt shy about my situation. And I had to ask myself, why? Why would I feel shame over a corporation's decision? They decided to let go of thousands of people. That's on them, not a reflection of me or my work ethic. And as far as layoffs go, mine was relatively favorable. I got paid through 3 months. I got severance. Praise God for that. So the shame wasn't really about the situation. It was more so about how I felt other people see me. I've always been a high achiever, a high accomplisher, someone people could look up to. So my brain immediately went, what then can some people look up to? But I had to check myself because I've said it before and I'll say it again. My identity is not in my accomplishments. It's not in whether or not I'm working for the biggest e-commerce company in the world. That company is not the source of my provision. My whole life has been a testimony. All the things I've been able to do were never me. So it would be unwise for me to sit here and wallow thinking that a company was the answer. Did they keep me through all the things I've walked through over these years? No, they didn't. God did. They don't feed me. God does. So I'm not about to hand a corporation credit for something that belongs to the creator. I have so much more to say about this layoff.
16,000 is a statistic nobody can picture. One person losing the only job that ever let her do what she loved is something you can. That's the only reason a story like this gets told one person at a time instead of as a headline.
So I just got laid off at my job. And if you don't know, I worked at Complex. I was a literal creator and host for them and basically was their face of pop and internet culture. That's literally what my title was. Pop and internet culture content creator and host. And y'all, I literally just got the call an hour ago. So I have a lot of thoughts, but I just want to first and foremost say like this past year and 4 months, I don't even know how long it's been, but my time there has really just developed me as a journalist. And I've got to work with some of the most brilliant creatives. Like, I think what's like hitting me right now immediately and first is like, damn, I had some really dope ass coworkers. Like, and I also got to work with some really, really just amazing and hustling and brilliant, talented Black creatives too. Like, in regards to like in-person, because I've worked at Black media outlets in the past, being able to work with like Black creatives hand in hand, that was such a beautiful experience for me to be able to have. I will say that Complex gave me opportunities that I would have never been able to get by myself, but also to other companies had not given me in the past. Complex really like allowed me to speak to talent. And in the past, I've dealt with companies who didn't even want me to talk to talent, right? I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm definitely like going to miss, crazy enough to say this, I'm gonna miss walking into that office on 5 days a week. Yeah, there's a lot, and I will talk more about like everything as things go into next steps, but I just wanted to let you all know first what the deal is, and thank you to Netflix, thank you to A24 and all these companies that always wanted to work with me, and NBC Universal, like, thank you so much for always presenting me these amazing opportunities. And also, just to be clear, I am open for work. So if y'all see any hosting, any anchoring positions open, please let me know. Send them my way. I will keep you all posted for next steps, but I just wanted to let you know from the horse's mouth first, that I got laid off, but we are on to bigger and better, because you always gonna elevate. I'm always gonna elevate, period. All right, as always, thanks for watching. Mommy Tip.
Losing a job you loved is one kind of pain. This next one buried her mother during her 3 days of bereavement leave, brought back the obituary to prove it, and got fired anyway. Grief isn't supposed to come with a deadline, but Walmart gave her one anyway.
Pass away or immediate family member passed away, your bereavement days start immediately. So I had 3 days from the day that I went home and saw my mother deceased to use my bereavement days. So 3 days later, I know I shouldn't have gone back to work, but I did because I didn't have another job and I didn't have any prospects for another job. So I went back, and I have a manager that actually does have a heart, and he told me to go back home. He told me to go back home until after the funeral, right? But prior to that, on the second bereavement day that I had, this lady Tracy calls me at home on my cell phone. Meanwhile, my family's just arrived and everybody's still crying. We still trying to figure out what to eat. We ain't ate, you know. She calls me and she says, hey, you need to bring evidence up here that that's your mother that passed away or you're fired. I know people lie about crazy stuff, but why would I lie about my mother dying? Why would I even put that on a parent or a family member? Like, unless I hated them. Like, that was terrible. Completely out of line. I said, okay, and I was trying to explain to her, like, it's only been like 48 hours. Insurance ain't even paid out yet. We don't have no death certificate. They still trying to do an autopsy, like, all that. And she was like, I don't care. Bring me documentation saying that's your mother that passed away or you're fired. So I went back to work after them 3 funky days, which are completely unfair. As you can tell, as you can see. Completely unfair. Management gets up to a month to 3 months off if a parent passes away, but cashier or overnight stocker, we only get 3 funky-ass days. So when I got back to work after that 3rd day, like I said, I had a manager that had a heart and sent me back home and told me not to come back until after the funeral. So the funeral was that next weekend, so I did not come back to work until, like, literally the day after the funeral. So I came back the day after the funeral, and I brought the obituary, and I was like, I don't know, like, this is the only proof I have. We still don't even have a death certificate. Because, you know, for some reason, you get all this life insurance on your family member, and they don't want to pay out for whatever reason. Either way, it took a while for us to get the check, X, Y, and Z. Luckily, it was a family, the funeral home that took care of my mother, they also took care of the rest of her side of the family, so they understood what was going on. So I bring the obituary back, and I give it to my manager. It wasn't Tracy, but Tracy did catch wind of it, and she sees it, and she goes, oh, okay. Once again, I guess she didn't believe that was my mother. Once again, I felt the need to preface at the beginning that I was a good employee. I did not have a track record of doing crazy shit, always late, none of that. Not really calling in. I only called in if I was actually sick, and even then, I can count on my hand how many times I actually called in. But in true Tracy fashion, she found a reason to hate me. So I think of like 2 or 3 days later, she calls me in the back office. Mind you, I worked the entire shift. She calls me in the back at literally like 6:40. She sits me down with the other manager that told me to stay at home until the funeral was over and says, we don't feel like you fit into Walmart's new changes, so you're going to have to give us your discount card and your vest and your badge, and, you know, you're going to have to leave or you're fired.
This woman was fired.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, and I just got a calendar invite for an all hands. Important.
Okay, so we all got laid off. So this is day 1 of us going back to the office. It was one of the most fun days in office. I tell you, we ransacked the office for anything that we could get away with keeping. Vibe was amazing. It was really friendly. It was really, really fun. But the best part about getting laid off was this huge party on Friday, which was paid for by Vice. I literally booked a private room with a set menu, and there was alcohol. So we drank and we talked, and then we drank some more. Goodbye to Vice. I never really cared about this company, but turns out that I do care about its people, and I'm glad I got to meet them.
Walmart wanted paperwork before it would believe a woman's mother was dead. Losing your job and your health insurance on the same day in the middle of chemotherapy is a different kind of proof nobody should have to give. He wasn't asking anyone for sympathy. He just wanted to keep his coverage long enough to keep fighting.
Years with the airline.
It really felt like somebody stabbed me right here in my chest.
He spoke to us a short time after his latest chemo infusion. He found out he had Hodgkin's lymphoma earlier this year. His health insurance ended the same day he found out he was out of a job.
What are we supposed to do when coverage from Marketplace or Cobra, even though it is backdated, is not effective until June 1st? We need coverage now.
Every person in this video did everything right. Showed up, did the work, believed the company that hired them, and found out none of that buys you a warning. None of them saw it coming, and that's exactly what makes it worth talking about. The people who make these decisions never lose their bonus over it. That's what we cover here at Fresh Off the Plane. If this happened to you, tell us in the comments. And if you want to see who gets caught doing this next, hit subscribe.